Hey everyone, Assalamu alaikum. It is raining outside and I am not feeling well today. So I thought it would be a good idea for us to have this episode indoors. Today's topic is going to be about self-compassion and the framework of kindness. Cringy, I know. Bear with me. During your self-development journey, there will be times where you will see a problem. We will see a problem that we have identified that is a little too scary for us to overcome. It results in us ruminating and basically puts us a few steps back. So, the framework of kindness. How can it benefit us? What does it look like? What are practical tips that we can start actually acting on that can change our framework, that can set us up for success when we're going through that journey inside and we come across a problem that may be a little too scary? But before we dig deep into that, if you're new here, welcome to Growing with Danyal. Here we talk about all things related to mental health, personal development, and community organizing. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, consider subscribing. Let's get started. So I would like to start off by reading a passage from this book that I just started reading. I'm not even halfway in, and it's becoming one of my favorite books out there. In your whole life, nobody has ever abused you more than you have abused yourself. And the limit of your self-abuse is exactly the limit that you will tolerate from someone else. If someone abuses you a little more than you abuse yourself, you will probably walk away from that person. But if someone abuses you a little less than you abuse yourself, you will probably stay in the relationship and tolerate it endlessly. If you abuse yourself very badly, you can even tolerate someone who beats you up, humiliates you, and treats you like dirt. Why? Because in your belief system, you say, I deserve it. This person is doing me a favor by being with me. I'm not worthy of love and respect. I am not good enough. Powerful stuff, very powerful stuff. I encourage you to read the book if you haven't read it yet. Every human being has a deep desire for feeling and receiving love. Now, we associate all these fancy terms to it, but at the end of the day, it's love. However, as you get older, there is this powerful tool that human beings used quite a bit, a weapon actually, called shame. And what shame does is that it's basically the opposite side of the coin. In essence, it's communicating to you that you are not deserving of love. And the problem with shame is that it's effective. It keeps us in line. It's very quick, but it sticks and it grows and it festers. So if you use that tool a little too much with your parenting or how you deal with your relationships, the chances are that that ends up becoming the inner monologue of the person that you are in front of. So for example, I think a lot about my childhood. I think about I grew up in a very strict environment. A lot of shame was associated with my upbringing. And I naturally became a rule enforcer. Oldest son, received love through enforcing rules. And I became a little too serious at a very young age. Recently, it's been like maybe 2 years. In the past 2 years, I've had the opportunity to meet and talk to people who remember me from when I was younger. And for the first time in a long time, I've heard language and terms that were used to describe me that I have not described myself with, like, You were rambunctious. You had a mischievous smile. You used to mess with your siblings. You used to love talking. But as I got older, I never saw myself as anything like that for a long time until I eventually overcame it and worked on it and identified where it came from. But I think a lot about what changed me. Like when I think about it, every child is innocent. What transformed me to the point where the adventurous side of me, the creative side of me, I had to shut it down completely just to survive, just to thrive in the environment that I grew up in. The sad thing about this story is that there are many people who don't actualize this or realize this. They take that baggage, they make it their internal monologue, and they grow up as adults and interact with the world with that monologue. Things that someone decided for you as a child becomes your reality as an adult. That's what makes shame so scary, right? I think about as an adult, all the times that I've said no to opportunity because of my limiting beliefs that are rooted from places of shame, places of fear, right? As a father now who has 2 boys, my older one is very similar to how people described me when I was younger. And I catch myself trying to say and do things that I don't believe in, but I believe I should do. Should. I find it very sad that there are many adults out there who don't think they're deserving of love. And the scary part about it is that that desire of receiving love does not go away. We just bury it. And we bury it in very hurtful and harmful ways. From abusive tendencies to self-abusive tendencies, the list is endless of ways people find, and people can get creative, unfortunately, find to protect, to just drown out that feeling. And then most people don't even know where it's coming from because there's years of accumulated dirt that you're covering and you're burying that feeling that you just don't know where it's coming from. And that's sad to me. So 2 sides of the same coin. Receiving love, shame, right? The healing component that can get rid of shame is self-kindness, self-mercy, self-compassion. And it's very hard for a lot of people to do because we live with the thoughts in our head and we believe that we know ourselves best. So we think that whatever opinions we have of ourselves must be true because we know ourselves best. But we don't know where it's coming from, right? So that's the thing that needs to be worked on, and we're going to work on that later. Let's just talk about the framework for now. I want you to start thinking about, do this exercise with me. We'll do 2 exercises. Exercise 1. I want you to think about someone that you love. Someone who you love and also loves you. That you feel comfortable receiving love from them. You see it in their eyes. You see it in their actions. You see it in their voice. You feel in their voice. You know that this person is genuinely giving you love and you are receiving it wholeheartedly. Now I want you to think about all the negative things you tell yourself and that you say to that person out loud. And you say it with as much as vigor as you do when you screw up and you're talking to yourself alone in the car, alone in the bathroom, or wherever. Unheard of. Absolutely not. You wouldn't even think twice about it. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. So why is it okay that we do it to ourselves? Why is it okay? It's not. So first, let's accept that it's not okay. We are not going to talk to ourselves that way, right? What people fail to recognize is that what's going on inside here and here is affecting how you interact with everything there. What's going on inside affects what goes out outside, what happens outside. And the reason why is because it affects how you perceive things. I can tell you the same sentence, and depending on what framework you use, shame or love, you'll receive it much differently. God is a big example there. We think about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the amana that He's given to you, your body, your life, right? I can tell you all that. I can tell you an ayah from Surah Rahman, فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, which one of the favors of your Lord will you deny? I can say that sentence, and depending on what your framework looks like, you can come from a place of shame and be repulsed by it, or you could come from a place of love. Be like, subhanallah. I'm grateful that my Lord is the most merciful. Right? It's about how you see the world. So you got to work on what's going on here first before you while you're simultaneously trying to interact with the world. We talked about journaling in the last episode, right? When you are going to be jotting down the stuff that you're feeling, right? We need to start transforming it now to an attitude of gratitude. If you were able to finish your night during Isha prayer or when you're journaling, I like to journal at nighttime whenever I do. Some people prefer early in the morning or in the middle of the day after work. It's up to you. It's what works for you and your schedule. Think about 3 things that you're grateful for. And it's going to take time, because just like your thoughts are things that you can work on, you can improve on. So you just got to slowly start inside, converting, taking one side of the coin and switching it to the other side, right? And that's the muscle you need to work on, right? The attitude of gratitude. Got to work on that. I need you to think and stop looking at yourself from a place of judgment to a place of curiosity. How can you start doing that? The easiest thing that has worked for me is I do it with other people. And it's easy to do that with people that you like. It's hard to do it with people you don't like. But you got to do it. Because if you are able to do that, then gradually you'll start seeing yourself as the other, and you'll do the same thing. But you need to start doing it. Oh, you messed up. You're such a lazy idiot. No. What went wrong? How can we do better next time? I usually tell my son this. It's okay to make mistakes as long as we learn from them. It's okay to make mistakes as long as we do better. It's okay to make mistakes as long as we help fix things. Right? We're not giving permission, we're not being complacent. We're giving permission for you to make mistakes, because it's through mistakes that you learn. But at the same time, the learning component is very important. You want to actively be curious, not judgmental, right? And that's what you need to start doing. So try it with other people and then see how it's going to work with you. The last thing that I think will help you in terms of focusing on being more kind to yourself, this one is the most cringy one. If you thought the other ones were cringe, this is going to be the really cringy one. But it has done wonders for people I know, for myself, and I think it's going to help you out too. When was the last time you saw a picture of yourself when you were a child? Like innocent you. Some people see that and they're like, oh, and they just ruminate and think about all the good times. Some people see that and they can't see it. They can't. Because between that and where they are today, there's just so much trauma, so much pain. So be gentle to yourself. If you're not able to, it's completely fine. Take it baby steps. But I would highly encourage you, if you are able to, get a picture of yourself when you were young. And keep it either, take a picture of it, put it on your phone. If you have a physical copy, put it in your wallet or something. And from time to time, just take a look at it. And I want you to, this is the cringy part. You thought that the picture was the cringy part. No. Ideally, I would like for you to say it out loud. Words of affirmation towards your younger self. You're safe. You're doing a good job. You're kind. You're brave. You're strong. You're a good human being. You're a good Muslim. I get that it's hard for people to do that. So think it. Think it. Write it down. Right? When you're journaling, maybe have your picture right there next to you and journal. Right? But try to do those things. I think if you are able to do those 3 things, then you'll be in a really good place. I'll leave you with one last bonus one. Remember that growth is a journey. And it's not one way up, one way down. It's ups and downs. Gives and takes, right? It's just like the heart monitor thing. If it goes straight, you're dead, right? Same thing with life. It has to go up and down, right? We only experience the joy of glow-ups when we're on the bottom, right? So you got to be graceful when it goes down. You got to be graceful when you're up there too, knowing that you're eventually going to go back down, and it's okay. It's just how life has been designed, right? You don't have control over those ups and downs. Remember that. What you have control over is how you see it. Okay? Okay. Hope this helps. Be kind to yourself. And I hope that you start practicing having an attitude of gratitude. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.